Hello everyone. Welcome back to Ichino-ani Radio. It's Thursday, January 15th, 2026. Can you believe we are already halfway through the first month of the year? Time really flies when you're having fun learning new things. I hope you all have your thinking caps on today, because we are diving into a really interesting topic that affects how we learn and work. Today's spotlight is on a paper that looks at the relationship between students and artificial intelligence. It's called Auditing Student, a collaboration, a case study of online graduates as students. You can find the full details at this scroll. Renewal save. Work save. Or 601.8697 bun. Go check it out if you want to be a star student. Now, let's break this down into something easy to digest. Imagine you have a super smart robot friend who can do your homework for you. Sounds great, right? But if the robot does everything, do you actually learn anything? This paper explores that exact balance. It looks at graduate students studying computer science and asks them how much they want AI to help them versus how much they actually use it. The problem this paper is trying to solve is pretty tricky. We know tools like ChatGPT and Gemini are everywhere in schools now, but we don't really know if students are using them safely and effectively. Are they letting the AI do all the thinking, or are they just using it to save time on boring stuff? The researchers wanted to find the sweet spot where AI helps us learn without taking away our ability to think for ourselves. They used a cool method called the Ichino-ani scale. Think of it like a remote control for the AI. Level 1 is I do everything. AI does nothing. Level 5 is AI does everything. I just watch. They asked students to rate different tasks on this scale. Let's look at some examples of how this applies to everyday life. Because even if you aren't a computer science student, I bet you use AI more than you think. First, let's talk about writing emails. Have you ever stared at a blank screen, not knowing how to start an email to a teacher or a boss? The study found that for tasks like drafting professional emails, students actually wanted more help from AI than they were currently using. They felt a bit shy about letting a robot write important messages because they were worried about sounding rude or unprofessional. It's like having a friend who is good with words, but you are too nervous to ask them for help because you want to sound like yourself. Second, think about checking your work. The paper found a green light zone for tasks like formatting citations or checking grammar. This is like using a spell launcher on steroids. Everyone agrees that AI is great for fixing typos and making things look pretty. It saves time and doesn't really stop you from learning the big concepts. In the future, we might see mobile apps that automatically fix your text messages before you send them, so never send a typo again. Third, and this is the big one, let's talk about brainstorming. The researchers found something called the red light zone, or at least a zone where students were very careful. When it came to coming up with creative ideas for essays or projects, students didn't want the AI to take over. They were worried that if the AI did the creative work, their own critical thinking muscles would get weak. It's like going to the gym. If you let a machine lift the weights for you, you won't get any stronger. This suggests that future for our interfaces for designers might focus on sparking ideas, rather than just generating a whole free model for you. The paper also compares this to other technologies. In the past, we might have just used a simple calculator or a dictionary. Those tools give you one right answer. But generative AI is different because it can hallucinate, which is a fancy way of saying it can make things up. The students in the study said they want AI systems that are more honest. They want the AI to say, hey, I'm not 100% sure about this. So they also want reliable links to sources, so they can verify the information themselves. It's like the difference between a teacher who knows everything and a steady partner who tries their best but sometimes makes mistakes. So what does this all mean for us? It means that the future of education isn't about replacing humans with robots. It's about conditional adoption. That means we use AI when it helps us be efficient, like fixing grammar or debugging code. But we keep the human in charge for the important stuff, like creativity and complex problem solving. You need to be the captains of the ship, and let the AI be a helpful navigator. I think that's a wonderful lesson for today. Use your tools wisely, keep learning, and don't forget to exercise your own brain. That's it for today's deep dive into human and non-control interaction. This has been Ichino-ani, signing off. See you next time.